Did you know that there are over 8 million student athletes in America? And of these, 70% of them say they have disordered eating habits. That's a crazy stat. Okay, now let's hear it from Harak. Our team has created an app that addresses this issue, introducing SmartPlate, a nutrition tracking app that avoids counting calories, all those unnecessary numbers and statistics. It helps student athletes build good eating habits, which can counteract their disordered eating habits. Now let's hear from the community about what they think about their usual nutrition tracking app.
Do you use a current nutrition tracking app?
So I do. I use MyFitnessPal, or have in the past, but have been frustrated with it and use it off and on, basically.
What are the current problems with MyFitnessPal or other tracking apps that you think?
Well, one problem is that MyFitnessPal seems overly complicated. There's like 100 tabs for 100 different things that I don't necessarily understand or use. But the thing that is sort of front and center is just like a calorie count, like how many calories that I've done. And I even took like some quiz or whatever with like 5 questions that determined what my calories ought to be. And it's not what I was using the app for, right? I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm just trying to be healthy. So it feels like, I don't know, there's more granular data. Maybe it exists somewhere in that app, but it's like hidden from me and it's not front and center.
And what would you look for in a new refined version of this app?
I guess like a big part is customizability. Like I feel like I never entered my goals into my fitness tracker. It just told me the number of calories and hitting that. So if there was like a granular way to control whether I only care about protein intake, and then it would teach me that number, or if I only cared about the amount of fiber that I was getting, or something like that, then I would be able to have customizable numbers that I would actually care about, and then I could use it more often.
App you have used previously, what were the main issues with it?
There's a lot of things that I had to buy in order to be able to track my calories or my nutrition. It wouldn't tell me everything because it was a subscription-based app.
What do you look for in a new refined version of that app?
Being able to just fully break down like what I've eaten that day and like what I should avoid or what I should include in my diet to better perform.
Through group research and community interviews, we have identified 3 key issues with current nutrition tracking apps. These include the lack of consistency, the lack of goal keeping, and their over-reliance on statistics and numbers. Now to Nyan for the app demo.
First, let me give you a basic rundown of the app. So when we first load into the app, we are loaded into the meal tracker, which we can add items and name it as we please. We can also add more meals the more we eat in a day. After we name a certain meal, we have check it off preset meals and give it a rating based on how good the meal was. But we also can add our own meals with more specificity. Let's skip this one to 3, and we can save the meal. It pops up right at the bottom, and when we view the meal, we can select the meal type that we want it as, and let's replace it for breakfast, because that is what we had for breakfast. And then we can log the meal. And so what this does is when we go into the logs page, it updates for the exact time, the health rating, and the meal we had. And so every time we add in a meal, it goes into this running list of meals and that we can look over at the end of the day. Next, we have the recap section where it gives you the rating of that day. It averages all the meals. And then this is for the previous days, and it goes on for the whole calendar. Next is a goals section. When we were talking to the community, they said that they lacked a lot of goal-oriented apps, and we have implemented that here. Then, and based on the number, it gives you the days remaining, and you can add and subtract based on that. And then it completes once it's done. Next, we have the settings tab, where it's just a normal settings page, which gives you the normal functionality of any other app, such as sound effects, haptic feedback, notifications, things like that.
Because disordered eating affects a bunch of different people of different demographics, especially among high schoolers, our app was designed with community involvement of people from these different demographics to make sure that we were not disproportionately gearing towards one community. Also, every member of our programming team participated in different sports and activities that change how we view fitness and nutrition. Therefore, that was also taken into perspective when making the app, so our app is accessible to people who do a variety of different sports and activities.
Evan, Nine, and I have all taken advanced computer science courses, and everybody in our group has prior experience in coding. Because of this, we all took equal parts in our app and pitch creation.
And I have a lot of experience in scientific research due to biotechnology classes. Therefore, I was able to help a lot with implementing scientific research and data into the design of our app.
I would describe this app as community-oriented, adaptable, and friendly because we took data from our surrounding community to better our app, made it adaptable to any type of user, and make it easier to use than other nutrition tracking apps on the App Store.